What's going on, everyone? LP, writer and creator of the comic books NYOBI and Savage Sim, and a veteran now, essentially, of the crowdfunding wars. That's right, I've been doing Kickstarter now for 11 years, since 2014, and so I feel like I got a lot to weigh in on this situation, right? So what this is John's Longbox, former Comicsgater, now defected, in a debate with Comicsgate King Liam Gray. Now, full disclosure, I don't like Liam. I don't like Comicsgate. I think we all know that. I've been only singing that now for the last 5 or 6 years. But there are people who are slowly starting to figure out just why Comicsgate isn't all that it was led to be, cracked up to be, and how it's just essentially nothing but a big fucking grift. John Longbox here is finally figuring that out. Richard Embry is finally figuring that out. I figured that out a long time ago. And it's just insanity with some of the things that Liam Gray is saying here. So, Liam Gray and John got in this big debate about the merits of Comicsgate. Now, this is a almost 4-hour live stream. So we're not going to EFAP this all, obviously. But we're just going to play a little bit. Especially the part where Liam Gray talks about you don't need to fulfill your book to be a success. What? Right? I wish I had the buzzer plugged in. Absolutely, you need to fulfill your books to be a success. You just can't take the money and run and say you're a success. No, at that point, you're a thief. Let's go ahead and listen to some of this and we'll go from there.
Do you understand the intention of language? Do you understand the intention of, like, a campaign can be successful based on how many people invest in it. It's then the property owners, the campaign guy's responsibility to deliver the book. That's not a fucking debate. Okay. When that doesn't happen, that's shit. When people walk away and they take the money, that's shit. You'll find since the beginning of fucking this thing, I've spoken at length about all the people that did this, from Critias to Asgard to all of these guys that have done this. I speak out against it. We have a responsibility to deliver to the fucking backers. I fucking believe that. I've stood by that. I've never stopped working on my projects. I give regular fucking updates on all my stuff on my streams. You know, I'm always showing that I'm working, right? Just because there are people that don't have that same work ethic doesn't reflect upon Comicsgate as a whole.
Wrong. It absolutely reflects on Comicsgate as a whole. And not only that, I dare to say it affects crowdfunding as a whole. And, Liam, I'll take it even a step further. It affects comic books, overall industry as a whole. And I'll tell you why. It only takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch. If, for example, I go ahead and back your Kickstarter, Liam, and you don't deliver, what are the odds that I'm going to keep backing Kickstarters? Because you burnt me. You now taking my money and RAM, or you're extremely late and I have no idea what's going on. That is going to affect my habits of purchasing crowdfunded books in the future, which hurts crowdfunding in general, which hurts comics in general. Follow the train of dominoes, my friend. Please, for the love of God.
And just because there are people that want to test the success of a project with crowdfunding before they invest a year or more of their life, 6 months to a year of their life into it, doesn't mean that crowdfunding is bad, or that the people that get out there and say, hey, my book was finished ahead of time, are bad. But the people that are like, hey, my books are finished ahead of time, unlike all of these people over here, that's a different type of business. Do you understand? Like, you can go, yeah, my book's finished. There's no risk of waiting. Here it is. This is the way I did it. Nothing wrong with that, right? But when you're throwing shade on the people that don't do that.
Liam, I've watched you throw shade on people for fucking 6-7 years now, bud. I've watched Comicsgate throw shade on the mainstream for years, attacking the likes of a Heather Antos, who I got to meet, who was very nice. Megs Massagio, a Dan Slop, a Tom Brevoort, a CB Cebulski. The list goes on and on and on. My friend, you guys have been throwing shade as a business practice forever. That is how Comicsgate was built. Don't give me that bullshit. Look, Anyone in competition is going to throw a little shade. WWE was throwing shade at WCW. WCW was throwing shade at WWE. Coke throws shade at Pepsi, vice versa. Excuse the cough. That's just how it works. That's how it works. You're in competition. You are going to try to make yourselves look good at the expense of others. That may happen. But don't try and sit there on a little perch with a halo above your head saying Comicsgate doesn't do that. No. Comicsgate was built on that. Dumb fuck.
That to try and prop yourself up. That's shitty to do because there are people that cannot do that, you know, and that's the beauty of crowdfunding. We've got a chance for people to go, is this good or not? And that maximizes your chance at major success rather than just chasing little things, you know, like why are we in disagreement over that?
I have no idea what you said, but Death Raider successfully funded and unsuccessfully fulfilled. I'm retarded.
Yes, no one understood what the hell you just said. You went and did some fucking word salad that was unbelievable. I mean, I thought I spoke the hibbity jibbity, and I thought I spoke it well. Liam, you're the king of the hibbity jibbity now, bro. Fuck.
No. So it's not a success. It's not a success. It's a failure. It's an absolute abject failure. Death Raider is a failure.
Yeah.
He got the money. He got the money. Yes, he successfully funded, but the campaign is a failure. Are we in agreement or are we in a disagreement?
Do you recognize that there are stages of marketing? Do you recognize?
Liam, the man asked you a direct question, and you go ahead and answer the direct question with some gobbledygook about marketing. Okay, you're not Tyler Carpenter. You're not having a silly goose time here. You're in a debate, right? The man asked you, you know, is Death Raider a failure or a success? And for guys who don't know Death Raider, it's a Comicsgate book that took in $36,000 and has basically told everyone that we overspent our money, I'm bankrupt, no one's getting their money back, and no one's getting the book. Thus, another comic book creator who mismanaged funds so poorly or just took the money and ran, you know, debate's still raging on about that. And you're trying to tell me that just because he raised $36,000 that he's a success. No, that's only part of the journey, my friend. To be a success, you got to complete all the aspects, all of it, not half of it, not partial of it, not 25%, all of it. You're not a success until you have crowdfunded the product, funded it, and delivered it. Not until then, period, and a story. And anyone who says differently, we'll debate. We can do that. Let's carry on for a little bit longer, just so you guys can get the more context, more story. Woo, woo, woo.
I'm recognizing one thing and one thing only. That people spent money and didn't get it. So therefore, it was a failure. Is the object of crowdfunding to get me money, or is the object of crowdfunding to have happy customers and maybe establish a reputation and do something fun? Because if it's just yes,
I would say that it's to create properties that, you know, and new IPs for the fans. That's what I would say.
So then was Death Raider successful?
Death Raider funded successfully and failed to fulfill because of mismanaged funds, and I disavow.
So therefore, it's not a success. If it funded successfully but failed to deliver, then it's a failure. There is no partial success. There is no sweeping for this. It is a failure, and it makes the rest of us look bad, Liam. You should not be defending this at all. And I know you're going to say that, you know, you condemn this, whatever. Condone this, or no, not condone, condemn, right? You condemn this to all hell, but you still won't answer the man's questions. You're still sort of sweeping for Comicsgate because you don't want to be put in a position where you're like, yeah, we've been fucking up a lot. You don't want to say that. But the truth is yeah, they've been fucking up, not just a lot, but quite a bit. Quite a bit. Let's let the tape roll.
I have since yesterday. You can check on my channel.
Okay. All right. So again, one word, yes or no. Was Death Raider a successful campaign?
I'm not going to let you police my language, man. I'm not going to let you tell me how I can express myself.
How do you say it in Kualan then?
In quality,
In
I would
quality.
say
In quality. Whatever language you speak over there.
I would say what I've been saying for the last 5 minutes, but we came to this stream here to talk about whether or not Comicsgate had value and whether or not it was doing damage to small creators. And you're
no
claiming
value,
on that
it's doing damage to small creators.
It has no value. So if it has no value, then what about the sales that you made on Katie's stream? What about the sales that you made on like Ethan's stream? What about?
I like how he does this, right? Like, you were part of us and you made sales. Look, Comicsgate doesn't like Kickstarters very much. They like Indiegogos and GoFundMes. The fact that any sale was made during these streams doesn't necessarily mean that those sales came from those streams, right? If I'm on launch night and we're on this channel and I got, maybe 12 people watching, and all of a sudden we just got 36 backers because it's launch night, probably, and chances are not one of them was from my chat, right? Just because you're live promoting something and you get a backer during that time doesn't mean that that backer came from your stream. Chances are they probably don't even know you have a stream. You know what I mean? Especially on Kickstarter. I can tell you that on Kickstarter, the majority of my backers have never watched an NYOBI show, probably aren't even friends with me on Facebook. They just know the comic. They don't know the personality behind it. They don't care. About
the sales that you made on other people's shows.
I never pitched on Ethan's stream.
Well, on Katie's stream, whether you've used the platform, you said you'll take promotion anyway.
I got sales on Clownfish's channel. I got sales on I'll go on anybody. Stan Lee is dead. I got to be my own Stan Lee.
Okay. So did you or did you not make sales to the Comicsgate crowd?
I don't know. I didn't interview the people. I don't ask people for identification before they.
Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I think that it's fair to say that if you're going on to Comicsgate, pro Comicsgate streams, talking to a Comicsgate audience and pitching your book, the goal is to sell to them. Am I wrong?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you're wrong. I'll tell you why. Because it's not that you're trying to pitch to a Comicsgate audience. It's trying to pitch to anyone within the earshot that will listen. No one cares about the group itself. People just want to reach as many possible eyeballs and ears that's willing to check it out.
Okay, so she got me 4 sales. She got me 4 sales, which is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I never had a problem. Katie did.
So what about the people that got more than 4 sales?
What about them?
Do they exist?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to them.
Well, here I am. Hi, how you doing?
All right.
I launched Dino King and got about, I think it was about $12,000 when I was on the outs with everyone and I was just doing my own thing. Fulfilled it, did it all out, did it no issue. Etherman Skyver bought the book, read it, reviewed it, got singing praise, and because of that, Comicsgate spent an extra 48,000 or something.
So the Fat Man the Frog said your book was good. He liked it. And on your own merit, on your own volition, you got $12,000, which is pretty respectable. I'll be honest, right? I'm happy when we do those kinds of numbers. Anytime you get into the 5-figure territory, you're doing something right. But now you're going on about how Ethan got you an extra $40,000. Well, doesn't that make you feel kind of bad? Because that doesn't translate to success of your book. That translates to the charity of another man giving you his audience, who could care less probably about your book, right? I rather make the 12 grand than 40 if it's 12 grand of people who are really hardcore NYOBI fans or fans of mine or want to check out the book, as opposed to some social influencer sending their mob over to try and make him look like he's a charitable individual.
Buying it out of them, buying the reprint, purely on his recommendation, because of the quality of the book, after he had given me no end of shit for several years. So, that's an extra $50,000 in my pocket, and that's feeding my family. That's, letting me.
No, it's not an extra $50,000 in your pocket. Don't let this guy gaslight you into anything. He still has to produce the book. He still has to mail the book. He is in Australia. He's got to do all this internationally. It's going to cost a fortune. That 50 grand he's raised, maybe he gets 12 grand at the end of all this.
You know, do everything that I'm doing, keeping my doors open. You know, I'd say that's pretty handy. That was useful to me. I wouldn't have got it without Comicsgate. So $50,000 is what it was my benefit.
The YouTube Music app has the power to sense what you like from the moment you open the app. It's almost like it can read your mind.
So far.
Okay.
Did I benefit?
I guess.
What about, gosh, who else is there? There's so many people, man, that have benefited from Comicsgate. Comicsgate is an awesome backing base of people that are interested in independent comics. And I'm
Wrong. Comicsgate is a online mob led by a cult leader by the name of Ethan Van Sciver, who are usually full of very right-winged individuals who detest the LGBTQ, who detest Marvel and DC for even entertaining such notions, and who basically want full control of the comic book scene. That's what Comicsgate is.
I'm sure you'll find you got a bunch of guys that back your stuff that consider themselves CG.
Which guy? Colby Mac? Put a name in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Comicsmate says both things can be true, and this is my point, man.
So if you subtract 4 sales from the one Comicsgate stream that I've been on,
what about Comicsmate then? You know, what about his work with what about his work?
Who's Comicsmate? This is the first
Well,
time
he's right here in the chat, you know. He did oh god, I'm gonna forget the name of it.
That is one thing I'll say to John Longbox. You were circling in their waters. You need to know who the players are, dude. Right? You know what I mean? You need to know who you got in bed with, and clearly you don't. Clearly you don't. So that's what I'll say on that.
Because I'm a terrible person. Oh, what is it? It's the cool ghost book that I really like. It's actually what the fuck's its name? It's I don't know. You'll shout it out in the chat. I forget its name because I'm terrible, but it's got one of the better designs in Comicsgate. What about Michael Bancroft? What about Michael Bancroft? There you go. What about all the people that Michael Bancroft promotes?
Is he Comicsgate?
Yes. Started out in my humble little chat.
I could go ask him.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't know who the players are. You know, that's kind of embarrassing. I'll be honest. Because they're gonna talk a little bit about Michael Bancroft here. Because I've already watched this. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit just to see if there's anything else worth sort of covering. We'll start here. We'll go ahead and let the tape roll.
This is on all of it. You know,
So
it's a myth.
Were you doxxed?
Yes. Man, my elderly grandmother was doxxed, and
Was it bad?
multiple times.
Was it bad?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Especially when they call SWATs to my grandmother's house frequently. Yeah.
That's attempted murder, if you ask me.
Yes.
People should be charged with attempted murder if they get doxxed. So
I don't think that, but I think that
no. I apologize again. I am getting sleepy.
Yeah.
But if like somebody swatted Peter Simeti, I don't know if you know about that. Peter Simeti of Alterna Comics. He was actually live giving a stream when the SWAT team came. Whoever swatted him, not doxed. I used the wrong word. I apologize.
Yes, swatted. Yeah.
If anybody swats people, that person should be charged with attempted murder.
Yeah. Well, I've had it happen multiple times, but anyway,
So I apologize. I messed up the words.
No, that's okay, man. Like, I just want to have an actual reasonable conversation. I don't have an internet fucking argument. I wanted to actually talk to you about the benefits of Comicsgate because there's a lot of reason that people are upset.
Well, the benefits of Comicsgate is you get to wait a long time for your books. I'm going to consider it as long as I get my money. And then when I ask for
Sometimes not, man. Sometimes not. Yes, you wait forever for these books, and usually the books aren't that good. Comicsgate, the benefit of Comicsgate, let me tell you what the benefit of Comicsgate is. There is no benefit. I've been saying this for years. There's absolutely no benefit, right? The only benefit is short-term money. if and only if Van Sciver promotes you. And then it's not your book making the money. It's Ethan directing his audience to back you because they like Ethan and they do what the old master says, right? The frog says bow, they're going to bow. If the frog says jump, they're going to ask how high. No, Ethan's not distributing your book. He's not printing your book. Okay, he's not doing the fulfillment. He's not doing anything. Okay, Comicsgate is a loose network ran by an egocentric shitbag. There's nothing that Comicsgate can do that you can't do for yourself, provided that you're willing to put in the work, provided that your product is worth it, provided that you have a love and a passion for this. Okay, if you're coming in and you're just hoping to do the quick grift, then maybe Comicsgate is a place for you, because that's all it is a quick grift. With failed creators who have been drummed out of the industry, who are notorious shitbags, who are notoriously late, and sometimes don't deliver at all. And when they do deliver, you get a 10-page pamphlet for $25. Let that sink in. We're going to play a little bit more, and then we'll wrap this up, I think.
For a refund, I'm going to get doxxed.
Well, not necessarily.
Well,
not
not necessarily. You're absolutely right, because I don't think everybody who ever asked for a refund got doxxed, but enough people that did it that I legitimately didn't ask for a refund for a long time because I was like, I don't need to get doxxed. And then I get a lunatic showing up my house dressed up like Captain Caveman or something like that with big gigantic scissors. You know, I don't need this stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I don't need that stuff either. I get it. I fucking get it, man. I understand.
Let's be honest. That person would be 6 feet under if they did that to my house. I don't play games.
Yeah.
Hey, Lady Allie's here.
So who he's talking about is a guy by the name of Riley, who's a sycophant. He's like this fanatic. I'm going to get you, Eric July. And he runs around mocking people, showing up at events, causing harassment, stalking, you name it, assault. He's doing it. Him and his autistic girlfriend, Mint Salad, seem to take joy by making nothing but troll content on all of Ethan Van Sciver's enemies. It's something wild. It's unreal. John, you gotta stop putting so many ads in your videos, though, dude. Like, it's hard for me to go through this because now I have to edit out all your fucking commercials, bro. Don't do that.
How you doing? Love Lady Allie.
CG only benefits one person right now. It's not true. It benefited me. Benefited my family.
I will say that's empirically wrong. It benefited you. As long as it benefited you, it benefited more than one person. We can't.
Yeah, and I think that it benefits a lot of people. I mean, Shane Davis today comes in, boom, knocks it out of the park, raises nearly $50,000 in one day. That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, there is all of these things that we can focus on and get upset about, but there's a lot of people that have successes. Again, Dean James was in here, you know, that's Comics Made, and he's had like, I think 2 successful books so far. You got Michael Bancroft, who's done, like, he's about to do Loosened 2. He's like promoted numerous campaigns that have been successful. You know, we could go back into a long history.
Not CG.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He started in my chat. He's been CG from the start. He did multiple streams about it. He's Comicsgate. And at no point has he ever said that he's not Comicsgate. In fact, he said that he still is Comicsgate when people were saying that he's not on his Twitter. So, you know, or did he just say that he's not? If he wants to come in and say he's not,
I don't know. What time is it there? I'm curious.
It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. He might still be at work.
Okay.
So we're just going to fast forward again a little bit. Like I haven't watched this full 4-hour live stream, so I'm just kind of scouting around and seeing the good stuff. I mean, the real thing I want to cover was the definition of success in crowdfunding. We've done that. Now we're just poking the bear and looking around for fun, right?
Long before Ethan started doing Trashcast, long before, nearly a year. So I would say, yeah.
Ethan Van Sciver never asked people to defend Comicsgate against Heather Antos and all of these people. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Or is only one side allowed to use certain tactics?
I don't think that it's sort of, you know, the same thing to sort of go, hey, we're taking on the mainstream industry and commenting on those who are trying to gatekeep people out of the industry based on their politics, and then say, well, you know, that's attacking them, when that's a response to their aggression.
We live in a free world, free country, right? People are going to have opinions. People are going to act upon those opinions. You know, I had a falling out, you know, with a convention years ago. It took 6 years to repair that damage, Liam, right? Collectively, people are going to unite together against a common foe. That's just the world we live in now, right? You know, so you're trying to say that the left or Marvel or DC or however you want to define them, right? Drummed out people they didn't like. Well, guess what? That's normal and that happens everywhere. You ever go into a workplace, you know, maybe you're working at a job manufacturing place, retail, whatever, you're with a group of people and you're not clicking and these people are trying to sabotage, you know, your job so they don't have to deal with you on a daily basis anymore. That's not just in comics, that's everywhere. That's everywhere, right? You're trying to socially police people. Good luck with that. Right? Comicsgate is no different. Comicsgate also are essentially gatekeepers of the way that you would like to blame the other side. Comicsgate is notorious too for attacking their enemies, throwing shade, making memes, making videos, doing everything they can from doxing to swatting, like you guys have covered. And over what? Pennies? Comic books? A little bit of clout? Is it that you guys want to be comic book creators or do you guys want to be internet sensations? Because it seems like the latter to me, to be honest with you. A little bit more.
So I don't see the point. You're allowed so you're allowed to attack the mainstream. But you're
allowed to attack institutionalized power and control systems.
Now you're talking like an SJW institution.
No, I'm talking like a normal fucking person. I think that if there's corruption in the system, if there is corruption within the system, and if there is a system that is keeping people out of employment based on their politics or identity, you should be able to fight back and push back against that. People,
and you are. You guys went ahead and did your own thing, made your own group, but now your group is falling apart, right? Now it's like when you take an inch, you always want to take a mile. Comicsgate took an inch. Now they want to try and take a mile, but the problem is that you guys don't have the energy to run the mile. Okay, you don't have what it takes anymore. You never did, right? It takes a few years for people to really sort of realize the grift and all the bullshit and all the lies and all the drama. I mean, there's more backstabbing that happens in Comicsgate than there is in an episode of Game of Thrones. It's just true. We keep seeing it, and I don't know why these creators keep, because they have the. I answered my own question. I was say I don't know why these indie creators keep getting taken for granted. You know why they keep falling into this trap? It's because they have visions of seeing big money like Van Sciver. They all think they're going to be the next big thing, and Van Sciver is going to get them there. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. The only way you're going to get ahead is by your own work. You don't need to surround yourself by a bunch of guys who are going to get you fucking blacklisted from the industry.
People should be succeeding based on their merit.
Okay, so Eric July is fighting people based on their identity in politics?
I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with Eric July.
Because he's
bullshit, Liam. You are familiar with Eric July, and the answer is, of course, no. Eric July is not attacking people on these things. Eric July is just trying to do his comic, you know, Isom, Yaira, Horseman, whatever the fuck he's got going on. I don't read them, but I respect it, right? He's a man that wants to put out a book. Great. As I said, there's room on the shelf for everything and for everyone. Doesn't matter. Left, right, LGBTQ, straight, you know, where you fall in the spectrum. I do believe there's a spot for you. But you can't be at war with everyone while you do it, bro. Fuck, you know what I mean?
Being attacked. And you said it's okay to attack Eric July.
No. I've never called for anyone to attack Eric July. I never said it was okay to attack Eric July.
So now it's not okay to attack Eric July. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm not saying that either. I don't have a
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying
he doesn't know what he's saying because you got him. He's in a fucking hibbity-jibbity spin. His brain is about to fucking fry. You're going to see smoke rolling out of his ears, dude. He doesn't fucking know. He doesn't know. He's trying to process the best thing to say that makes him doesn't look as bad. He doesn't understand, man. Doesn't get it.
Saying that there's a difference.
Not okay to attack him, but it is okay to attack him.
It's okay to it's definitely okay to respond. It's okay to fight back against people that attack you, and it's okay to fight back against people that are in positions of power and authority that use their position of power of authority to strangle out other people.
Okay, so are tiny creators allowed to attack Comicsgate for saying your bad reputation is affecting me?
I suppose, but
okay.
I mean, there's a difference.
Right, everybody.
There's also
we're allowed to attack Comicsgate. Thank you, Liam.
Oh, great. Okay.
What did I say? That's
You're
wrong?
allowed. I have people on my show all the time that are critical of Comicsgate. I'm not telling you you're not allowed to express yourself. I'm not telling you you're not allowed to have your opinions. What I'm saying is, when you're saying that there is no benefit, the reason I'm here is because I was told you're saying there is no benefit to Comicsgate, small creators, and it gets in the way and hurts small creators.
It does.
How so?
By not delivering books for 5 years, by having guys like Rob Hunter take $36,000 and disappear, by you attacking no names in the industry at the highest levels, by attacking fans, by attacking people who vote differently than you. The list goes on.
Because of you people that you don't like operated in ways that you don't like. How do you ignore guys like me and all of the other people that have made money?
You're in Comicsgate. You're in Comicsgate. Of course,
yes, I am.
You.
Yes.
Everybody else is small creators are going, I'm trying to set up these crowdfunded books, and people are telling me that's great. I don't want to back your book though, because these other people have been, they've been funding successfully, but unsuccessfully delivering their books.
Square gets the circle. Right there. Right? He's right. I've been saying it through this broadcast. I've been saying this for years. He is right. I want to talk to John's Longbox. I want to do it soon. I don't want to wait. I don't want this to wait for a few weeks when everything is off the grid and blown over. I want to go on this show and I want to explain to John everything that I know about CG, because I've been around, guys. I've been doing comics for 11 years. I have seen it and done it all.
So I'm going to wait until you're in a mainstream store. That is a fact. It's happening. And it's because of Comicsgate. It's also because of other people. Crowdfund and Eric.
I love he said that I can't wait to see you in a mainstream store. I have been in mainstream stores. I have been in Diamond Magazine and comic book shops 10 times. 10 times.
Eric July recognized this. I can't believe I'm defending Eric July when I don't even like his books. Eric July recognized there is a problem. He had the funds and the wherewithal to make books before releasing them. And other people said, you're attacking my business, because they realized he was right. Late books is causing problems. Bottom line, late books are causing problems. Not to you, not to this guy who's calling me a cunt, not to some people, but to the average normie. I got guys at work that I work with, and I'm trying to sell my...
John, they don't understand this, right? They don't understand where John Longbox is from. I do. You see, there are two communities in comic books, and I'm sure there's more, but two main ones. You have the speculator mainstream comic book community, right? These guys talk about CGC. They talk about the top 10, final order cutoff, collectibles, blah, anything that really isn't indie comics. John Longbox is from that school of people, okay? The only reason, and maybe John can clarify if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is the only reason John's even wrapped up in anything related to CG was because he decided he was going to make a comic book and then started finding all these streams with these guys who make comic books. And the unfortunate part is John stumbled into Comicsgate, right? But yeah, man, he's from a different school, Liam, right? You don't understand. And what this has done is this has crossed two worlds together, and it's going to be a hell of an interesting stream tonight when Richard Embray is on with John's Longbox. They're going to have a lot to say. I'm going to be in the chat. If they throw out an open link, I will go on the show. Let's continue on.
My comic book. They're like, you want me to give you $10 now, and 5 months from now, you may give me a comic book? Get the fuck out of here. Normal people don't trust crowdfunding, and the fact
that's right.
Normal people who buy comic books want to go into the comic book shop every Wednesday, pick up their pull list, maybe grab a couple other things off the shelf, such as myself, and that's it, right? Normal people, it's like, would you buy a ticket for a movie 5 years in advance? Would you? No, of course not. Would you buy anything that far in advance? Probably not, right? So normies do think this is crazy. I'm just going to throw you money, and I may or may not get a product several months down the road when I probably have forgotten all about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Normal people don't trust crowdfunding. It's a very select few.
So we as crowdfunders should be 10 times harsher on late campaigns, Wonder Island boy.
I 100% agree with that. We have to hold the other guys accountable, and the reason why is because they're affecting our business. Maybe not directly, but indirectly. If someone who backs Liam doesn't deliver and satisfies that customer may not come over and back NYOBI, which in turns hurts me because that customer is now bitter with crowdfunding because the orange koala gave them a bad experience. You understand?
And we, as crowdfunders,
I never gave a release date for Wonder Island.
What a nice trick. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody knows.
What about that's right. How about you focus on all the stuff I have released in the meantime?
I don't want
instead of focusing.
No, wrong, Liam. It's not about what you've done. It's what about what you have done now. It's what about what have you done lately. I don't care if you have 26 successful campaigns underneath your belt. If I come in back 21 and you fucked off, you took the money, you're late, whatever the screw up is, that's what I'm going to remember. I'm not going to remember the 20 times you did it right. That's not how the world works, bud. I wish it was, but it just isn't.
You don't know anything about my work.
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for
Ladies
me?
and gentlemen,
What have you done for me? You're out.
As a backer, he would have given you money for a book that you are dragging feet on, right? He's saying, as a customer, I don't want to wait a year or 2 years for Boy Island. And he's like, so it's all about what you've done lately. You know, I've given you money. What have you done for me? Liam, you're like, well, what have you done for me, mate? Customer, mate. Get it?
Out here ragging on an entire thing that can uplift people.
okay, I muted him for a second. I just like to make the announcement that Heroic Tales, I don't know when it's going to ship. So therefore, it could never, ever be late. 10 years from now, 6 months from now, 8 minutes from now, never.
Yeah, that was a dumb fucking answer Liam gave. Well, I never put a shipping date, so you can't hold me accountable. Well, fuck. No, every campaign should have a shipping date. And I get it. Not every campaign is going to meet the estimate shipping date because it is an estimate. But by the fuck, you need to be trying as hard as you can to be as close to that date as fucking possible. And my rule of thumb, by the way, is always give yourself a couple extra months, right? So if I'm doing NYOBI and I say, oh shit, I think it's going to come out in July, I'm going to say September. Just because I know things can get delayed. And if I say September, but we end up doing it in August or July, then we're early. It's like the Scotty from Star Trek syndrome, right? Oh, Captain, you don't tell them how long it really takes. And then when you get it done faster, they think you're some sort of miracle worker. That's what you want. You don't want to be dragging feet with throwing excuses. Well, I never gave a date, so you guys can't be mad at me. That's not how this works. Guys, don't follow this shit. I mean, I'm so glad I came on here today to do this because there's so many lessons to be learned here. And I wish I had the 4 hours to pick this all apart. I just don't. But I do want to listen to a couple more minutes. I know I've said this throughout the video, but I'm just so captivated by the stupidity that I'm hearing that I just can't stop.
That's when Heroic Tales is going to ship. So therefore, by solecism, it can never be late. I'm going to mute myself now so you can talk.
Wonder Island had all sorts of problems. I never at any point did I stop working on it. The book will be released. It's been upgraded from it's $25 that people paid for it. It's gone up to 200 pages when it was meant to be 60. I've repeatedly shown that it's shown.
That is one thing Comicsgate will do, and you'll hear it over and over and over again, is that they'll tell you the book was initially X amount of pages, in this case 60. But it's so late, we're adding extra pages. It's going to be like 140 extra pages. It's usually bullshit, right? Ethan said the same thing with Dark Harvest, that the reason why this 10-page pamphlet was taking forever was because there's going to be extra content. You know what the extra content ended up being? Recycled art and pinups that he's had for forever. Wasn't new story. It wasn't pages being drawn. Don't listen to this bullshit. Don't listen to these grifts. I mean, the bottom line is if you're backing a book and it's not delivered in a timely manner, these people should be excommunicated. Period.
And its progress. And I think, to bring it back to the topic at hand, since everyone wants to focus on that instead of Dino King or Kakashi or any of the other stuff I've done, ignore that, I guess. Selective fucking criticism. But I think that if you're a crowdfunding person, you're like, you want to make comic books, the best thing for you to do is be a part of Comicsgate. People say it's terrible.
The worst thing you can do is be a part of Comicsgate. Let me tell you why. A, your peers are going to shun you, right? B, conventions are going to shun you. C, the mainstream, people you may want to work for in the future, Marvel, DC, Boom, whoever, are going to shun you. Comic books are a very small niche community, especially when it comes to the creator side. And I mean, you can be small level creator, but you're only 3 degrees of separation from rubbing elbows with Eric Larson. Like, it really is sort of that level, right? If you are part of Comicsgate, it comes with a stigma. It comes with a black stain. You are essentially a black sheep now in the herd of comics. Sometimes you don't even need to be labeled Comicsgate to become that. Ask me. I know. I've been there, done that. You know? It's not my first rodeo, right? It's not rocket appliances, Ricky. You will be shunned. You will be blacklisted, period, end of story. Do you want to be successful in comics? Do you want to be invited to shows, store signings, events? Do you want to be able to, take steps in your career? Or do you want to crash and burn? Because Comicsgate is a crash and burn scenario. Period. End of story.
Don't be it. Don't do it. It's like, you're going to hurt yourself more. You want to be a bitter, cynical person, or you want to get out there and meet people that crowdfund and have fun and are excited about these books.
You can do all that. You can get out there and meet people that crowdfund and get excited about books that are not part of CG. CG is about 1%, if that, of the entire crowdfunding sphere. Don't let this guy gaslight you to think that the only way that you can be successful as an independent creator is to join the Comicsgate network. What a bunch of bullshit.
Books. You want to sit around, in the slums in the corner of fucking nowhere with angry, bitter people that are telling you that they would never back your book because they don't want to wait 6 months for it anyway. Okay. But this is an opportunity for people to step up, find out what's successful, what they want to have released, what the customers want to buy, and work on that and get it out there. I think it's a great mechanism. I think it rewards artists. And, what else can you say? What else can you?
It's a great way to get blacklisted in 2.5 seconds.
Fucking say, even you admit, John, that this has helped people.
So obviously it has helped people.
Yeah. So
like I said, it helped Ethan Fitzcarver, it helped you. It helped the Comicsgate Kings.
It's put roofs back on people's houses. It's donated to cancer charity. It's done lots. It's done lots.
Okay, so when am I getting? Well, I didn't back it, but when am I getting Wonder Island?
When it's finished being lettered.
When is the date? I want a date.
When it's done.
So.
What a fucking prick! When it's done. When it's done. You need to be answering to your customers. And I know John just said he didn't back it, but he's asking a general question for those that did back it. When can they expect the book? You got any sort of estimate? No? Then you're just dragging feet like fucking Hunter is, right, Liam?
So there is no. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you never, ever say when it's going to be backed, it can never be late. A nice trick that I learned from down under.
Well, you know, I did give release dates with all my previous books and managed to hit those. But you know,
why did you not give a release date for this one? I'm just curious. Out of all your successful, wonderful, beloved campaigns, this one you decided not to give a release date. That's kind of curious.
Yeah. Well, because it was being painted, dude, and I had no idea how long it was going to take to do.
I had no idea how long it was going to take to do. What was my advice, Liam, just 10 minutes ago? You know, whatever estimate you think it's going to be, add yourself a couple extra months, right? I mean, we all have an idea of how long something's going to take. You know, we may be wrong on that idea, but we at least have an idea, and that's why you allow yourself for extra time, right? You just can't say when it's done and then expect everyone to, you know, go, okay. Those people gave you money, man. Money's hard to come by, especially now, right? Like money, finances, they're tight, you know, and these people are just giving you money well in advance with nothing. I hate giving money at the store and getting something in return immediately, let alone wait fucking a year for shit, bro. I fucking get it, you know, like.
Do all your backers know
I'd never produced anything on this scale before, and I was working with a first-time talent at the time. There's multiple reasons. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take my time. I've worked producing books that were for other people my entire fucking career, right? And
Wrong. He's never been able to produce receipts for any of this work he's claimed he's done, and every time he's been called out upon it, he backpedals, he backtracks. You know, this guy, if you ever watch his content, it's just lie after 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 lie. Like Liam's one of those pathological liars that you meet in life, where they lie so much that they actually believe what they're saying. You ran into those types. Like they'll tell you, like, you know, I took on 5 guys at once with a cigarette hanging out of my mouth, and I didn't drop my coffee. You know, we've all met these types of people. That's Liam, right? That's Liam. Look, the bottom line is this: Comicsgate is going to be nothing but bullshit for you, right? If you actually have real ambitions of being a part of this industry, don't join this movement. And this is just examples why. And there's plenty of others that I'm sure we'll cover down in this channel below. But if you do want books that are on time, that has a stellar track record, because I do, then maybe you want to pay attention to NYOBI. Maybe you want to pay attention to Savage Sin. Okay, we've been published. We've been in Diamond. I've got to work with industry veterans and young guns coming up throughout the ranks. Okay, we delivered on time. I'll be delivering next month. NYOBI Outbreak 4 a month early. I said August. We're going to be doing it in July. That is how shit is done. Not the Liam Gray way, not the Rob Hunter way, not the Van Scarver way, not the courteous way, not Zach, you know, your boy Zach's way. My way. It's my way or the highway. Stay tuned now for a word from our sponsor. All right. Thanks for enjoying the video. I'm glad you're here at the channel. Please go ahead and subscribe and sub up and all that great stuff. And while you're at it, maybe check out our eBay store. If you like comic books, you can check out my comic books, NYOBI and Savage Sin. You get cool comics. It's a great way of supporting the channel. You can go to ebay.com/USR/NYOBI comics or scan the QR code above my head.